Hey guys, Colby here. Welcome back to another video. Big news today within the game. We didn't know this would happen, but look at this. New event tab popped up. Lunar Festival Titan event with a 5-star blessing awakening right there for Zinogre, the fusion, the fragment collection champion we have going on right now. It's actually ending right now. So if you did manage to pick her up or are in the process of picking her up, then this is the best way to get her as powerful as she can be. The 5-star blessing is just an amazing opportunity. I'm not saying this to try and sell this in any means, but they've been doing these star awakening we had Titan events, and now we have these sort of events. All right, we had the Path of Light events and then these Titan events. So two versions of these popped up throughout the time that they've started introducing after a fusion or fragment collection, these kind of awakening opportunities to pick up the awakening. I love these in the sense of, okay, if you have an easier fragment collection slash fusion, then this is a great opportunity if you have extra resources to get that champion even more powerful. Let me give you some examples. My Razzlevarg right here, the 5-star awakening that you see, I did not buy the blessings for it. This was through events and the Path of Light or whatever it was during that time. Same thing for Artak. Same thing for Mighty Uko. I think this was a tournament. And then I think we had a 2-star Emic trunk card from a tournament. Those from tournaments are actually much harder because you gotta compete with others. But at least these Titan events are much easier in the sense of, okay, you've got events to follow up through. You're gonna be doing dungeons. You're gonna be doing artifact enhancements. You're gonna be doing everything that will have the Lunar Festival tag on it. All right, and this is, if we go on to the news page, it's right here. You'll see a little bit more information, but actually most information we'll find as time goes in the following 3 weeks. And what I find very interesting is that this will be ending about 3 weeks from now, but the majority of points that you need to be collecting is basically week 1 and week 2. So the following 2 weeks from tomorrow, any kind of events that you'll be doing, you gotta be a little bit extra careful on what you'll be skipping. Because look at this, 910 lunar points during the first week, 660 lunar points during the second week, and 180 during the third week. So very little amount during the third week. You might think, oh, I have time during the third week that I'll have enough points the same way that I had in the first week. But no, this is not even a third of the points, okay? Comparing it to the first week. So you have only 250 points to miss, right? So you can skip events, or summoning events is probably going to be the choice for the majority. Right, you skip those in the chase to get the 5-star perfect soul. Okay, you'll be skipping those, but you'll need to skip only 250 or else you'll miss out on the blessing. I am guessing this will be the target point to get the 5-star perfect soul. The primal, void, and ancient shards will be on the lower category, and the same thing goes with the mythical book. Okay, so my goal here with this is to look at it as, do anything that pops up that has a lunar tag, do anything that pops up, and only choose to skip something along the lines of a summoning event or a tournament that I see impossible to do with what summons I have saved up. And this will be very tricky for many, so it's better to avoid doing those completely if you are on the lower end, somebody who's not doing Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, so you don't have a source to get sacreds or voids or primals or ancients. So if you're free to play, you gotta pick your fights, guys. So if you go for this one, the perfect soul, make sure that you actually have a use for Zinogre. Her 5-star perfect soul can be very important in terms of pushing different areas of the game, but it's not as important as possibly maybe the next fusion. So if you go about and use up all your shards, then you're gonna be in a bad time for the next fusion or fragment collection that will be coming probably when this ends. So in 3 weeks time, usually we have it about the first week or so of every month, coming into the second week where a fusion or fragment collection starts. So it's probably going to be a fusion since we just had a fragment collection, but it's not out of the ordinary that they'll just do something again like a fragment collection. It depends on them and their goals and how they see analytics. They everything they do in raid, you just gotta understand, guys, that everything Plarium does It's a test. Okay, how can we affect, change spending habits if we do this and if we do that? It's all about that. How are we gonna make the users use up the resources more and stop them from stockpiling? And like a big reason for having always summoning events 10x, 2x, 25x, 1+1, or whatever they want to call it. All of these are just a way to use up your resources. And I mean, okay, let's use up the resources, but use them wisely. That's the big thing about this game. Use them with a purpose. So I'll probably be going for the perfect soul for her, because the 5 stars are very unique. It's very difficult to get 5 stars, and especially for a legendary, depending on where you are in the game, it can really change the way that you look at specific areas of the game for the usefulness of that specific champion. So I'll give you an example. The 5-star perfect soul for Zinogre, okay? She has the opportunity to do multi-hits, and that's going to be very strong for her. What would the 5-star perfect soul for Zinogre do? She is a multi-hitter, but her usefulness in specific areas of the game will fall off. So you'll have to understand where you're going to be using that 5-star awakening. 5-star awakening, let's say with the crushing grand blessing, which allows you to ignore a lot more defense, is strong, but the 6-star is where it's at. Okay, 5-star and 6-star is where it's at, where you get a ton of of the benefits. Let me just show you an example. Let me show you the 6-star on Seer. All right, 6-star blessing on Seer. Every hit will ignore a percentage of the target's defense, comparing it to the 5-star where the first 2 hits. So the crushing grand is very important to have at 6-star. A legendary blessing, unfortunately, is extremely expensive to get a 6-star through the shop. You'll maybe get one every couple of months, and that's if you're farming the Iron Twins every single day with a refresh. It's that hard. It's that hard to get a 6-star upgrade through the market from a 5-stars, because it's 300 of these. Okay, it costs 300 of the big ones. Right here I have 282. I'm slowly acquiring them, but it's just very, very costly to get these, and it's also very random to find the legendary that you're looking for. So going for a crushing Ren will be not very strong for Zinogre, and that's one of the blessings. Other blessings on Zinogre. Are you gonna go Brimstone? Brimstone allows you to apply, of course, a very strong debuff on bosses, and that will do a lot of damage. That can be strong because it can be it's a good chance. I think it's a 60% chance to apply the Brimstone. So if you have that as a blessing, it's a way to just ramp up your damage, comparing it to the lower blessing. So my ninja has a 2-star. So at the 2-star, you only have 15% chance, but at 5-star, you have the protected smite at 60% chance. This can be useful for things like the Sand Devil, where the cleanse can happen. But have in mind that Zinogre will not be strong, for example, for the Sand Devil. And why am I saying that? I'll explain to you right now, because her damage is not that strong. She only has direct damage. She doesn't have something like an HP burn. So if you're just using her for the Brimstone, then you'll have to think, okay, what am I going to be pairing her with? To use an attack-based champion together in the Sand Devil with her, you'll probably do the Godseeker and Neri strategy, and you'll need probably a 5-star awakened Godseeker already, where she is gonna be healing a lot the team and recovering the destroyed max HP, so she can actually take care of her ally, which is gonna be Zinogre. And Zinogre does so many hits that you'll be actually waking up the target, so you'll probably have to even remove something like a Giant Slayer from her, which is gonna limit her damage in other areas of the game. So I'm not saying it's impossible to use her just for the Brimstone, but I'm just saying it's gonna be more difficult to take full advantage of Zinogre. And her damage can be nice, but it's not gonna be that great. So her usefulness will be from just direct damage, I would say, for specific other areas like the Hydra, where you'll be targeting the downed heads. But again, in there, I still think the 6-star crushing rain is much more impactful than having her with a 5-star. The 5-star crushing rain will be useless, basically. So unfortunately, you'll have to pick on the right blessing for her. Phantom Touch is another very solid choice, and I would say is the most consistent in terms of damage for multiple areas of the game. So Brimstone is not that useful for the Fire Knight, but it's more useful for the clown boss, I would say, because of just the sheer amount of turns you can be running here and there. But Phantom Touch, which I'll have my Razzlevac here, is very strong for the Fire Knight, and Phantom Touch 5-star blessing. Okay, this goes to 75% chance on the 5-star, which is very strong if you compare it to all the other blessings in terms of the chances that they have. At 5-star, it feels like they're underwhelming, especially like Crushing Rain is good for those take them out hit for the round and then go to the next one. So Seer works fine with that, but other champions, unless you're doing something very specific like pushing Soul Cross stage 18 and 19 and you want to one hit those epics, those legendaries with epics, then that's where you use it. But for this one, I would say Phantom Touch would be the way to go, and probably Brimstone. That's the two blessings that I would personally use. I also am a fan of this one, Cruelty. The Cruelty blessing I am a fan for more prolonged fights where you're just decreasing the target's defense more and more per hit. So if you have a multi-hitter like Zinogre, it's not a bad choice to be decreasing that defense as quickly as possible, because you'll eventually ramp it up to 15%, which is not bad. It's not bad. It's a consistent way to decrease defense. So you can have that as a choice as well. Not a bad choice in my opinion, unless you have other epics which are 5-star, and you can use the epic for the epic blessing and not use the legendary for an epic blessing. Okay, just have that in mind, guys. I just wanted to make this as a roundup of information for this one, and just my thoughts on the blessings and how much they're worth it. Really, again, to sum it up, it's the first 2 weeks that matter for this one. Be careful, don't let it go for the final week, because the 180 points, although you might still need them to finish it, the final week has way less points comparing to the first 2 weeks, and the total you lose, the total amount of points that you can lose is 250, assuming that the 5-star blessing will be at the end. So this was the video, guys. Thank you all. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.